Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're going to be tapping into and taking a look at how it is that you guys trigger people around you in your social circles. This is not something that is being highlighted to be changed, altered, or shifted in any way. This is just to help us to become socially aware of our presence. So, how is it that pile number one is currently triggering people around them? Okay, so we have Law is Not Justice, number 30. We also have the card Forget Who You Are, number 41. And then we also have Follow the White Rabbit, Curiosity Meets Opportunity. Now, before I was pulling these cards, I was sensing caution. So something about you that is triggering people around you is that you're very good at sensing out hidden agendas and intentions or concealed truths within people. Pile number one. This is just a channel message before we touch on the cards. So people who have the intent to deceive pick up on this within you very, very quickly. You're very good at seeing through false personas and masked intentions. So you'll find a lot of the time that you are a natural catalyst when you come into new friend groups, new social circles, communities, or like groups of people. And yeah, it's almost like chaos doesn't follow you, pile number one. If you feel like chaos follows you, that's not true. If anything, you bring order to chaos, which makes the chaos stir. You know what I'm saying? The chaos that is already existent but concealed stir. And that's why you see change happen so rapidly outside of you, because you're a catalyst. You inspire natural change within people by highlighting awarenesses that go unnoticed within them. So a way that you trigger your haters, your oppositions, is that you show them their concealed darkness, their problems. You show them that they are the issue because they don't take accountability for the results and things it is that they create for themselves. Now, you're very extrasensory. That's why I'm playing with my hair. You guys are very, very sensitive to energetic shifts. So I would think and probably suggest getting extrasensory toys like, you know, squeezies or poppets or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. Fidget toys. Yeah, stuff like that would help you to concentrate and focus in on your thoughts a bit better. You're the type of people who would find yourself meditating better or reflecting better while doing something else like writing, singing, drawing, listening to music, or playing with things. Sometimes you just zone out better that way than what you do sitting there silent and humming. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You know, it's all about trial and error. That's something else that annoys people about you or triggers people about you. People who want to have a form of dominance over you or want to control you. They tell you to learn a certain way. They'll set up a certain way of looking, thinking, perceiving, and hold you to a certain standard, box you in, and try and enforce ways on you that don't actually work for you. You trigger these people because you're very good at following your own sensory needs, and I think it's important that you do that. I think it's important that you honor your feelings of that. Anyway, moving on. So with the cards that came out here, Follow the White Rabbit, Forget Who You Are, and The Law is Not Justice, what this is talking about is that you trigger people by your discernment, your ability to sense out and communicate things that don't sit right with you, things that don't look right to you, or things that are just plain and simply unfair for yourself and for others around you. You're very good at being assertive where it's necessary and creating balance and pointing out issues that need addressed. You're very good at honing in on details that people don't want to take a look at either. And you're very good at impartially assessing things, analyzing things. So you're very good at just looking for the facts of situations. You're very good at not becoming distracted, and that's something that triggers people around you as well. I see here that you are the type of people who are very full of wonder. You're very imaginative because, once again, you're very extra sensitive, hypersensitive in some cases. Your inner nature is very nurturing, and something that you might need to be aware of is that as a child you could have been very impressionable, and there were certain things that you were witness to that put you into a cycle of answering to the energy of fear. And I think something that triggers a lot of people is that you've done a lot of your own inner work to overcome fear or challenges and obstacles in your life. So you've developed a fearlessness within you that is unshakable, and that is very triggering to the people around you who do want to be domineering, who do want to be controlling, who do want you to be specific ways that aren't authentically your own. And this, you're very good at just sticking to what is true to yourself, your inner nature, because you can't ignore it. It's your first nature. You are who you are. And this triggers people as well. You're very good at articulating your ideas and your thoughts and your feelings, and that triggers people because they can't find ways around it. They can't create arguments around the things that you say, the things that you feel, because it's just what it is. And this is what forget who you are is all about. Even though you might take on other people's opinions, listen to them, stuff like that, you're always the type of person to formulate your own ideas, to go in your own directions, to come to your own conclusions independently through your own critical thinking. And that's something that might annoy certain people as well, because a lot of them give unsolicited advice, I feel here, want you to be certain ways, or you know what I mean here. The peoples that just keep kind of interjecting your independent path of self-discovery. You trigger these sorts of people because you show them that there is nothing that needs to define you. Freedom doesn't take definition, and you are who you are, you claim who you are, you own who you are, and that's final. And that level of freedom triggers people, because that's the type of freedom that they're looking for, believe it or not, even though they seem so structured, so organized, so secure in their ways. It's quite opposite. They control themselves into this way of being, and condition themselves so that they are perceived in this way, and they hope to reap the benefits of exercising in these disciplines. You know what I'm saying? But they still don't reach the level of freedom that you have to be yourself, and that's what they're really looking for. They would wish to be themselves, but they can't, and that's why they interject in the ways that they do to shape and condition you, because that's their perception of what they believe to be necessary, because that is what they've been taught to believe without their own critical ways of thinking. You're also types of people to give wisdoms and advice from your own experiences, and this triggers people as well because you actually have the experience, you actually know what you're talking about, and that triggers people around you who want to be like you, who condition themselves to be like you. But really what they find is a lack of fun, a lack of joy, a lack of change, a lot of stagnation. They find difficulty in expressing who they are, and they find themselves quite deceitful to themselves because they've shut their true nature off. And then they become fogged or disorientated in their ways of perceiving the world and life and themselves around them, which again requires their control and their dominance, because they believe that's what's necessary. So they kind of attach their ego to you. That's how you're triggering people. You're free of your ego in this way, and that's why you trigger them. So those are the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this has found you well and has served positive energy towards you guys. But with all that being said, until next time, bye. Hello pile number 2, welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. So tapping into your energy and taking a look at how it is that you're triggering people. Sorry guys, I just saw something. So what I'm actually getting here is that you guys are connected to, it's either a moose or the elk. It's the elk totem. So something that a lot of people are realizing about you pile number 2 is that you guys have the ability to create your ideals. It's more like you guys are motivated by your ideals, which gives you the drive to learn about what is necessary to help you to condition your desires into being. A lot of people around you see you as a good leader, and this is really triggering to them. They see you as someone who's structured, organized, someone who is strong within their morals and within their virtues, within their principality, or is it principles? You're very much in connection with your own inner nature, and you're very much in discipline of how it is that you express, show, or wear this energy. Okay. So, you guys are very masculine in your ways, might I add. I can feel it coming through. The energy of action. And I just heard you bring order to disarray. What's that? I don't know what disarray is, but I've heard it a couple times. Okay, so let's see here. What is it that is triggering about pile number 2 to those around them? We have relationship change. Healing. Okay, so you guys have been learning more about your own healing and abilities through expression of your authenticity, with the number 66 being here and 56. This is talking about you pretty much learning about your own capabilities and putting them into defined action. I think something that's quite triggering to people about you, pile number 2, is that you know what is necessary to help people improve the relationships that is that they share with themselves, their struggles, their challenges, their misconceptions, the dogma that they hold. And you're very good at welcoming in effortless solutions. By redirecting people's focus to what really is needed and what is necessary to create harmonious results. Okay, so there's a lot of messages coming through here, so I'm trying to decipher what's coming from where. I think you guys have a lot of attention, either through your career, your social platform, your community, or just your presence. Like, you attract in a lot of attention and a lot of responses from people outside of you. And what I see here is that a way that you used to approach healing, a way that you used to approach understanding yourselves, connecting with other people and connecting other people to themselves has recently changed. You've learned the totality of the approach to something that you know you're already good at. And now you're learning to step into a cycle that is more in reflection of what you've learned about yourself, which has in turn enhanced your healing abilities or healing awareness. What is it that's triggering about those who are feeling pile number 2 to the people around them, please? We have envy. People are just envious of you in general. The way that you handle life, the way that you move through life, the way that you discern deceit. You guys are very intuitive. And you're very environmentally aware. Once again, you are very much attuned to your own subconscious mind, your own instinctual responses, and you're very much in discipline of yourself. And because you've met yourself so deeply, you're very good at seeing where it is that people still have yet to learn about themselves. So you kind of give direction, and you show people how to move through certain environments or life situations that would usually be a struggle to most people outside of you, because you've already tread the terrain before. Does that make sense? So you're seen as someone who is very well rounded, very well cultured, very intelligent, and you're a good leader once again. And this is very triggering to people outside of you who feel like they're not in control in their life, who feel invalidated, people who feel undervalued in their lives, and people who undervalue themselves and don't apply themselves in the best way that they can and the best way they know how. This is the difference that is very clear to people who actually get to know you. A lot of people see you as a serious person when you approach serious things. You do it for reasons. sometimes unknown to most people around you, and that triggers them as well, because most people really want to understand you. They see you as someone who's quite magnificent in your ways, and whatever it is that you're doing, it's just your personality, is what I heard. Alright, sorry guys, 2 seconds. Just grab me my other deck. Which one? This one. No, okay. Because I keep not wanting to put this down, I'm going to guess it's this one. What is it that is intimidating about pile number 2 to the people around them? What triggers people around them? It's your trust and confidence within your own capabilities and understandings of self. Your self-awareness in general is intimidating to the people around you with this card coming out here. A lot of people see you as someone that they can look up to because you practice in what it is that you speak. You know what you're talking about because you've used it, you've applied it, and you're aware of the quality it is that you have to offer the world around you. You know the benefits, you know the deficits, and you also know what is necessary of the individual to help them to achieve what it is that you are leading them toward. You are someone who gives perspective and help people to attain goodness from bad situations or situations that they have underdeemed as valuable. You know, like for example, if you come across someone who does undervalue themselves, you're very good at being like, hey, you know, you are actually quite a lot like this. You're very good at this. You would be very good at this. You could look at your situation like this. That's the type of person you are. And I think it's a gift. I think it's a blessing that you are like this. You offer different perspectives to people, and that's what introduces them to new consciousness. New ways of thinking, new perspectives. You help lead people to their solutions by helping them to confront and see the concealed truths within themselves. You help them to understand the importance of their needs, and that's what triggers people around you. I don't necessarily think this is triggering in a bad way. I think it's triggering in an uncomfortable way, but at the same time you provide support and you provide comfort and nurture, which is why both of these images are holding animals. You help people. You really do. It's just your support and your genuinity that is most like the most powering part of your healing ability. It's your genuine intent to want to help that makes your energy so strong and pure. So those are the messages I have for you today. It triggers people. It does. And that's what makes them envious of you. None of it is really in a bad way. And I think you're very much in self-awareness and self-control, discipline of your space, your environment, and yourself. Because once again, you're very sensitive to these things. And you're very good at staying practical within your means as well. Pile number 2, which triggers people. But that's all I have for you today. I hope these messages have found you well. Thank you so much for stopping by, and until next time. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. We're going to be tapping in and taking a look at what it is that people find triggering about you at this time. This is not a reading to, you know, try and convince you that you need to change anything or anything like that. Nothing needs altered, nothing needs shifted, nothing needs concealed. It's just a reading for us to grow in awareness of our social presence. So guys, let's see. What is it that is triggering about pile number 3 to those around them? Upset is what I just heard. Upset. And it came through so quiet. What's wrong here? You're stressed. What's triggering about pile number 3, please? Now, I don't know. Funny. Okay. The second chakra came out, which is the sacral chakra. That's the home of emotion. So I think I'm starting to understand why I heard what's going on here. Now, this could work in 2 ways, yes. So one, you're either triggered by seeing people upset outside of you, and you work to help those people. The caution I want to give out here is please discern wisely who wants the help and who doesn't. Some people enjoy being sad, pile number 3, and that's sometimes a hard acceptance to come to, because when we're the types of people who always want goodness and love and the best for the peoples around us, it does become triggering, and it becomes very influential and impactful on us as well, which is why we are called then to create healthy boundaries to then protect our own health and emotional welfare. Anyway, on the other side of things, people are being triggered by your sadness right now. there's a sensitivity within you where you guys are growing an awareness of wounds. And I don't think these wounds just belong to you. I think you're becoming aware of a shared upset within the people or the collective. And it was something that you thought you had forgot about, or something that was like that, you know, it's a wound that was created a long time ago, and had dropped to the back of your awareness, but has recently been coming back up. And it's the same emotions, and it's triggering people. That's for some of you. For others of you, something that really triggers the people around you is your emotional awareness. Like, you guys are very emotionally intelligent, and you're very good at bringing perspective, understanding, and order to the idea of things such as empathy, support, nurture. You guys have done a lot of work around your understanding what motivates you, and also understanding intention as well. And this triggers people outside of you, because I believe you're the type of people to do things with reason. And you're very good at changing things with your own creative expression. How do they change things that trigger people? Freedom. Okay, so you help people to see where it is that they limit themselves, and this is what triggers them. You help people to see how it is that emotion, a lot of the time, we are not in control of, and you help people to discipline their emotions into being. Now, you're not usually the type of person to get swept away in your emotions. So for those of you who resonated with the message that you guys have been a lot more upset recently, people are noticing it around you, and it's concerning them, because once again, you're not the type of person to get swept away in emotion. Pile number 3. So I really do want to just quickly take the moment to extend my support to you. I do hope you're okay. I really do. So just sending a little bit of love your guys' way, if that is your message. Something that is triggering to people outside of you is that you're very good at understanding the personas of people, how it is that people label and define themselves, and you're very good at seeing where it is that they don't actually align to that label, that definition, and you help them to walk away from it. That's what I was gonna say. Funny, it just dropped out of the deck. Yeah, you help them become free of conditions that hold them back from really experiencing the true fulfillment of who they really are. Damn, love that for you. What is it that is triggering about pile number 3 for the people around them? I think something that triggers you, pile number 3, is when people don't listen. And this is strange, because I really didn't expect the energy to go in this direction, but I'm just going to say it as it's coming through, otherwise I would be a liar. So what I'm hearing here is that you guys become very triggered by people not listening to you. And another way that you guys can protect your own connection with self, or your own connection to Christ consciousness, is by guarding your wisdom from those who do not seek it. If you're the type of person to give advice, guidance, understanding, insights, especially intuitive, and these people aren't receptive to your information, hold on to it, write it down, store it away for people who do come seeking, who do come asking the questions that will then invoke the wisdom's gift, really. There's a lot of places you've been investing your energy, and a lot of those places don't support the benefits of what you have to offer, which is why you're being called into a direction of redirecting your focus into places that fulfill you and support your creativity into bloom. Does that make sense? That once you start to undergo this, if you haven't already, pile number 3, that is what is going to trigger people. You moving into a more authentic path. You're breaking outside of other people's definitions, perspectives, and expectations of you, you see? And that will be triggering to the people around you that aren't supposed to be there. That is going to reveal to you where it might be beneficial to kind of reassess or reanalyze what sorts of alliances you hold, what sort of life lessons these relationships are teaching you. You really are the enlightener of yourself. Like, your heart's truth is how you listen to your intuition. Do you see what I'm saying? And that triggers people around you because you're very true to yourself. Once you're aware of things within yourself, pile number 3, and you're set on them, you understand them, and you're no longer in doubt of it or yourself, you're very, very good at taking action and creating very rapid change around you. And that's triggering for people outside of you because they lose a sense of control, impact, or influence in your life. So what's triggering about those who have come to see pile number 3? To the people in the world around them, we have lead the way, be a leader, and show others how it's done. You help others by being yourself. Pile number 3. Kind of just confirming what I was saying. Because you are so true to yourself, you trigger people around you who are not true to themselves, who are limited by their perspectives, who are limited by their mind and their relationship with self. And you're very good at doing the work that is necessary to help you to outgrow versions of yourself or experiences in life situations that don't reflect you, that you're not satisfied with, that you're not happy in, you know. And that triggers people. It really does, because they feel stuck while you are still making progress. At least this is how people see you. You're very good at creating balance in chaotic situations as well, and finding solutions in the most unexpected places. And that triggers people because a lot of people don't want growth, or they like to fake growth, you know. And really, you're like, no, this is what real growth looks like. This is what real change looks like. This is what real commitment, devotion, hard work looks like. And that triggers a lot of people that you have crossed, that have come and gone, that you still have in connection with you. You're very strong individuals, pile number 3, and I never want you to forget that. The things that you've been through in the story that you hold is what is triggering. You're an old soul, is what I just heard. And the awareness of your wisdom is going to help. No, your creativity is going to help the awareness of your wisdom come into being. You really need to focus in on the life lessons it is that you have gained and you have learned about, because honestly, it's going to be somewhat of a legacy that you leave behind. Does that make sense? You've led a lot of people to change their mind about you too. And I just heard you're one of a kind. That's triggering to the people around you. They're jealous of you. Oh wow, silly them. Anyways, pile number 3, those are the channel messages that I'm getting for you today. I'm sorry that might not have come across in the way that I intended. As I looked down, I saw 1010 that talks about new beginnings. So I feel as though in the near future, from what I just heard as well, is that you guys are going to be seeing your creative ability and your life lessons in a very different way that's going to open you up to a new timeline of existence. You're going to start to create and perceive the world in a different way than what you were used to, because of your realization of importance behind the life lessons, or at least your personal story and life lesson, like life path. Life lessons just keep like repeating. You've gone through things that other people haven't, and I think your insights, your knowledge, and your experiences along this path will serve many very, very greatly, because it will bring understanding to those who don't understand, and it will bring awareness to them as well, that will then help them to create better connections in their world. So for example, if you're someone who is like an ex-addict and you've overcome your addiction, I think your story, your pain, your strengths, and how it is that you've grown is really, really important. And I don't think you should ever forget about that. Apply it to your life as it fits. It could be absolutely anything. But yeah, there's really an invite here for you to appreciate yourself more before it becomes a matter of what is triggering about you to other people, because I think you're already well aware. I think right now you're becoming aware of what is triggering to you and learning how to discipline that so that you can break free of its influence, and that is what is most triggering of all. So those are the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this has come a positive service to you. And with all that being said, until next time, pile number 3. See you later. Bye. Pile number 4, hello and welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're going to be taking a look at what it is that is triggering to the people around you. This is not a reading to make you feel like you need to change anything, alter anything. This is just purely for the purpose of becoming aware of our social presence. It's your silence. Triggers people, pile number 4. It's your silence. It's intimidating, and it makes people rethink a lot of things about themselves. Let's have a look deeper. This is just the channel messages before we pull some cards for you guys. What is triggering about pile number 4 for those who are connected to them? So we have intuition, psychic, energy sensitive, and your intimacy. So people are triggered by your connection to spirit, to insight, to truth, to the future and to the past, to the present. They're afraid of your intimacy, quite literally. They're triggered by it. You have a close connection with the afterlife, to spirit, to energy, and to unseen realms that are unknown. Like, I don't know, some of you guys have connections to otherworldly beings. A lot of you guys might identify to be star seeds. And what some of you guys don't know that other people have a suspicion about to do with you, they think you're an ascended master, reincarnated. For some. For others, they think you have a form of mastery over your psyche. So like you're an incarnated master. Like, I don't really know what this is, but I keep being shown like the Milky Way. So, star seeds? I don't know. Let's have a look. I don't know what I'm saying. Looks like a black hole. Chaos magicians, that's what you are. I see. So this might not be something that you're aware of. And just before I spread this information, I just want to make sure, because... chaos? Is this chaos magicianry? Yes. Okay. Right. What this means, pile number 4, is that you guys have a perspective that lives past duality, which means nothing is good, nothing is bad. It either is or it is not, and you have the power to direct it. So balance is your first nature, because you're an acceptance of what comes to be as it is. And that's kind of freaky to people outside of you, because that means you are very, very, very disciplined in your own self-mastery. You have to be, to not become influenced by such chaotic energy that comes to you requiring a form of order. You bring order to that because you are so disciplined within yourself. You then bring understanding to the chaos, to the unclear, to the unfamiliar, to the concealed, to the hidden, to the darkness, to the light. I think you're the type of people who if you're a light worker, you would have explored the extremes of the shadow and of the light. You've had to have understood the wisdom it is that you hold of an enlightened being. Enlightened means full understanding. Enlightened means fully civilized, fully aware. So I would say you guys have spent a lot of time in your life alone, and this triggers people. You've gone to discover the universe that is you. How it is that everything outside of you is a reflection of yourself, and how you can be found in everyone outside of you, everything outside of you. It's found in your humility. Humility? I hope you got a little bit of a giggle out of me trying to pronounce humility. There we go. Thank you. What is triggering about those of pile number 4 to the people around them? Your truth. Yeah, it's just confirming everything that I'm saying in the energy. I can see it. I can feel it. It's just trying to put words to it is a little harder because, sorry, I'm becoming distracted. I got BB stains on my top. But yeah, you guys become very triggering to the people outside of you because of your truth and your self-understanding, your awareness of self and awareness of the universe around you, the godly presence within creation and existence itself. Your philosophies are very unique to you, pile number 4, and it's very important that you stay true to your philosophies and discover them, prove them. Because you do set out on the path to prove your theories, your philosophies, your understandings, and your conceived ideas. It triggers people outside of you because you're very innovative, you're very otherworldly to people outside of you, and that's what's triggering most of all. You're not normal, and it's kind of intimidating. Like, a lot of people become like beside themselves when they're in your presence because they've not really come across people like you that introduces them to a whole new world. You know, there was a quote that I came across that stuck with me very young because of my own personal background, but there was a quote that said, "Blessed are the ones who raise themselves," and this speaks in very different many dimensions of experience. Because for one, blessed are the ones who raise themselves in their own self-awareness. You have no distractions this way, no interjections, and no people building your substructural understanding within yourself, which has led you to the freedom of authenticity. For others of you, this is quite literally like you guys could have raised yourself, raised other people around you from a very young age, like myself. You guys could have gone through really harsh situations in life that most people would never have to go through, and the wisdoms and the knowledges and the way that you've grown yourself is kind of unimaginable to people outside of you. You've made impossible things possible, and you've revealed truths of other people to themselves without even really trying. You don't see life through the lens of evil / like amazing or like good. It's more like what is and what is not. What can you do and what can you not? You know, you're very present, and that makes you very, very powerful and very triggering to the people around you. Pile number 4. So just a little bit more. What is triggering to the people outside of those who have come to view? Powerful. Is told by the energy and spirit in service of the highest good. We have patience and personal growth. It's just saying the same things that I said, so I'm sorry if this becomes drowning. But you guys have done a lot of work on yourselves. You guys have come very far, and a lot of people have probably been witness to your growth process, which has astounded them, shocked them. You've shown people hope, and that's lacking a lot in the world. So thank you. Quite seriously, I mean, I know it might come across as a little superficial to you guys because I'm on a camera, but I really do mean that. Hope is very limited in the world, and it's very, very needed, and you guys bring it through by being yourself. Like, you show people that there are possibilities. It's more like, what are we accepting, what are we doing, what are we investing, how are we looking at things, how are we holding ourselves back, and what are we willing to do to get ourselves past these struggles. And that's the mindset you hold, which then inspires the people around you. You help people to face the truth, and that's a confronting thing. And I think you guys would understand how intimidating the truth really is for people who even have inklings of resistance to what is. So you're very much in alignment, you're very much in connection, and I hope you have finally outgrown your self-doubt. And if you have, that's what's triggering. There is no self-doubt. Your connection with yourself is unshakable. Your awareness of yourself is unmovable. And that's what makes you most powerful of all. So those are the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this has come a positive service to you. And with all that being said, until next time, bye. Hello, pile number 5. Welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're going to be taking a look at what it is that people find triggering about you in the world around you guys. So I just heard global consciousness hit me. Yeah, it hit me, but I saw it in white writing, and it had a picture of the world behind it. So you guys are very much connected to the global consciousness. You're very good at predicting trends, seeing what's going to stick, seeing what works and what doesn't. You're very good at calling out political mess as well. You are a bystander. Pile number 5, and this triggers people around you. You're not really involved in things that you're aware of, and you are definitely, you have a very wide awareness. You're very environmentally aware as well, so that prepares you for possible danger that you then have the ability to minimize, or even, like, I just heard checkmate, diffuse, or like take away. Okay, so something that intimidates people or triggers people around you guys, just so that you guys know, this is not a reading to convince you that you need to change anything, alter anything, dumb anything down. Please don't do that. This is fully just and totally in the purpose of gaining awareness of our social surroundings. What is intimidating about those who have come to view this pile is your philosophical faith. You guys have a very, can you see it? It says philosophical faith. You might not be able to, but it does, I promise. What it says, really, the way that you trigger people is that you have a very strong understanding of creation. So you're very good at, once again, predicting trends, predicting patterns, seeing the birthplace, the death, and the rebirth. You guys are very much in connection to Phoenix energy, I feel here. So you're very transformative in your ways, and in your ways of expression is what I just heard. And creation, I just saw a flame, and it was burning very brightly. So yeah, you guys, I would say, are also very optimistic. You're very good at moving with ideas, and you're very mutable, so you're very adaptable, and this is triggering to people outside of you as well. You're very good at making the best out of the situations and life circumstances that you find yourselves in, and you're very strong at perceiving your strengths, which gives you confidence or self-esteem within, that helps motivate you through challenging times. What is intimidating or triggering about pile number 5 to the people around them? We have torture, witness. So you're very much aware of what influences the people. You're very good at seeing where people are not aware of themselves, how it is that they are influenced, and how fear, pain, or depression motivates most people. You're very good at seeing it, especially in places that seem undetectable. You're very good, very good at seeing the lower vibration within the world around you, doing the shadow work, accepting the evils in the world. Yeah, you're also very good at seeing the mania, the extremes of the world, which gives you a very clear global awareness as well. And this is triggering to people outside of you, because perhaps you some people might say you're a little bit complacent, or like pessimistic, or like, I don't know, a lot of people perceive you lower than what you are. At least when you're talking about your global awareness, a lot of people think that you complain about things that have nothing to do with you, when really you actually are very well aware and see how it impacts everybody. Most people don't care because they feel like it's outside of their control, but they don't realize that they're the ones who are contributing to the problems, which is why your soul yearns to talk about the things you become aware of in the collective, the patterns that you see. You're very good at breaking these understandings down and seeing how, and helping to teach other people to see how it is impactful on them, and how it is that they can then build up their own critical thinking to then exit out of things like what we call the matrix, or systems that are just outdated and unbeneficial to this time and age of our development. You're very good at weeding out people's delusions as well. You're very good at spotting out the fakes and phonies within careers, or like positions, roles as well, by the way. Just saying. What is it that is triggering about those who have come to view pile number 5 to the people that is around them? Your inner strength, your discipline, your patience, your kindness, your compassion, and your nurturing nature. You're very good at taming the beast, is what I just heard. Okay, so you're very good at calling out mass delusions. Like, you're very good at seeing where people spiritually bypass life lessons as well, where it is that people are lacking in growth. So you guys are very hard hitters. Pile number 5, like, for example, me personally, I would appreciate people like you, because you're very good at creating change where it's necessary before things become disasters. You bring up caution in places and areas of life and in focuses that tend to be looked over, that then become the demise of growth. And I appreciate that. Some of you guys also have a hidden talent for connecting with the dead, mediums. Some of you are like medium psychics, but I would say the majority of you are medium clairvoyants. So you will see the dead, like literally see apparitions of the dead. You'll see the density and also the frequency of the vibrations. So if it is a very heavied, karmic, tied being, you'll see its darkness. You'll see it as a shadow. If it's a lighter being, or like a higher dimensional, higher vibrating being, you'll see particles, but not so much density behind apparition. Yeah. The more formatted an apparition the spirit is, the more likely it is a ghost, which means it's tied to a trauma, to an experience, or to something that they're attached to. If it is light and it is clear in particles or like density, it's a spirit. It comes and goes, brings messages and goes where it is most beneficial and most useful. Spirit don't end up in places without purpose. You know, it just doesn't work that way, and I don't know why, but it doesn't. And I think that was something that I needed to pass on to the mediums of you guys. It's triggering to the people outside of you if you publicly practice in your mediumship. Pile number 5, much more triggering than what you might realize. Okay, so what is triggering about pile number 5? Your ability to speak love into existence, encouragement and nurture. You're very positive in your ways of approaching people, even though you're very real, like very, very real. I would say that you're also very expressive in the way it is that you show your personality. You're probably very colorful for some of you, and if not, it's the other extreme. Like, if you are someone who's very, very practical, very, very, like, I don't know, you're very good at reflecting your personality in the ways that you dress or present yourself, we'll put it that way. You're very good at decorating things as well, and this triggers people around you because you have a particular formed eye for art. And you're very good at seeing what needs love. You're very good at correcting people. Like, for example, if they think that they're doing something that they're not, you're very good at being like, hey, if you change this a bit, then you'll be targeting your objective. You're very intellectual, and this triggers people. Very transformative. You're very good at providing the solutions that would lead to positive change because you think outside of the box. You're very unusual, and you have a very beautiful voice. Those are the messages that I have for you today, pile number 5. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this has found you well and has served you with positive purpose. With all that being said, until next time.